All right, and we are back. This is NHL 20 Franchise Mode Calgary Flames. This is episode number 25. Yes, welcome to the 25th episode of our franchise mode here at the Calgary Flames. And it is a pretty big one here for the Calgary Flames organization because for the first time in 18 years, since, of course, 2004, the Calgary Flames are playing in the Western Conference Finals. So yes, welcome back to our franchise mode here at the Calgary Flames. Yes, it can't get much bigger than this, of course, other than the Stanley Cup Finals. But yes, the Western Conference Finals, it's been a long time since the Calgary Flames have been here. Obviously, 18 years, that's a long time in hockey for sure. The Flames coming off that huge Western Conference or Western semi-final series against the Vancouver Canucks, in which we eliminated the Canucks in 5 games, dropping the first game to the Vancouver Canucks. But we do win 4 straight after that. That was after we beat the Coyotes in 4 straight. So we swept the Arizona Coyotes in the first round. Had about a good week off here until the second round started. Like I said, lost our first game here in overtime to the Vancouver Canucks. But then we reel off 4 straight wins. Huge wins as well, including a couple in Vancouver there. A lot of close games. This was another overtime game here. And then a 4-3 game, and then a 4-2 game, and then to finish it off, another 4-2 game. But very close games. They were definitely, it was definitely a closer series than maybe it shows here in 5 games. Same with the Arizona Coyotes series, even though we swept them. Maybe that one wasn't as close as the Vancouver series, but still, I thought it was a close series for sure. So, you can see after we eliminated the Canucks in 5 games at the Dome to send ourselves to the Western Conference Finals, we had about 3 days off here, and now we start the Western Conference Finals against the Colorado Avalanche. The same team that the Calgary Flames played back in 2019 and were eliminated after being the first seed in the West, the first seed in the Pacific, and then got eliminated by the 8th seed in the Colorado Avalanche back in 2019 in the first round in 5 games, ironically. Now we see them for the first time since here in the Western Conference Finals. So let's get right into it. Lots to get into here. Like I said, very exciting time right now if you're a Calgary Flames fan, because it's been a long time since this team has not only been good, but been good enough in the playoffs to be playing for a chance to play for the Stanley Cup. Of course, if we win this next series here, we will book our ticket to the Stanley Cup Finals and be 4 wins away from our second ever Stanley Cup in franchise history. So a lot of things need to happen, but definitely have to be excited with the way things are trending right now for the Calgary Flames. First I want to look at is player stats here. There we go. And we're going to look at team stats and then the Avalanche, of course. So let's just take a quick look here at our team. Like I said, we're about, you could say technically halfway there. We still have 2 more rounds to do. 8 more wins to get here if we want to win the Stanley Cup. But you can see we've just played 9 games. We obviously have a really good record so far in this year's Stanley Cup playoffs, going obviously 8-1 in the playoffs. Yeah, 8 wins, 1 loss in 2 rounds so far. So we're doing really well through just 9 games. So not bad. Just looking here at the points, obviously we're not going to have maybe as many points as some of the other teams because we've only played 9 games, whereas some other teams, they could have played up to 14 games by now. Probably not that much, but somewhere around there. But just looking here at our point leaders, here's Matthew Tkachuk leading the way. Now we got quite a few guys here tied at 10 points. Matthew Tkachuk, Elias Lindholm, Johnny Gaudreau, Max Domi. You can see it's all of our top players, and that's what you want to see. Especially like a guy like Tkachuk and Lindholm, especially. These are 2 guys that I was very critical of in the regular season. Of course, the last couple of years, I was very critical of their stats in the regular season because they weren't living up to expectations. Like, look at Tkachuk this year. He put up 24 goals and 46 points. Last year, he just put up 16 goals and 51 points. Now, he was still hitting, after this incredible career year where he put up 77 points and over 30 goals, he still was hitting 50 points, almost hit 50 points last year as well. 2 years in which he eclipsed the 20 goal plateau. So, I mean, still not bad for a second-line production, but we want Tkachuk to be a top player for us. We don't want him to be a second-line player. We want him to be a top player. But like I said, in these last 3 years, it doesn't matter what Matthew Tkachuk does here in the regular season. It's all about what he can do here when we get to the Stanley Cup playoffs, because we knew we were going to make the playoffs the last 3 years. We were a good enough team. And so when we come down to our playoff stats here, you can see obviously back in 2019 when we faced the Colorado Avalanche, there was his stats: 2 goals, 1 assist through 5 games, and then kind of similar numbers the next year, and even last year through 12 games he put up just 6 points. But this year, what a difference already! He's put up a career high 10 points in just 9 games. I mean, that's incredible. You can pretty much compare that to 2 years ago where we just played 8 games and you only had 4 points. So I mean, he's getting the job done. 4 goals, 6 assists, a +8 rating as well through 9 games played. I think he's shooting way more here at 16.7%. 1 game-winning goal, 1 power play goal, etc. Working with about 17 minutes of ice time too. Down from actually last year at 1932. So, I mean, Tkachuk's getting it done this year in the playoffs. That's what I wanted to see. Like I said, it didn't matter in the regular season. It's kind of more comes down to the playoff stats for Lindholm, or for Tkachuk and also Lindholm. Again, looking at Lindholm, very similar situation. Had a career high back in 2019 when we played the Avalanche there in that year. 78 points, of course, 27 goals, and then drops down the last 3 years in production. Just 16 goals, 55 points, 18 goals, 57 points, 19 goals, and 56 points. And Lindholm played the majority of these 3 seasons on the top line with Gaudreau Monahan. So, he should have less of an excuse than Matthew Tkachuk, who was on that second line for the last 3 years. Lindholm was actually on the top line for most of it. Maybe not so much in this last year where we really kind of put Domi up there. We kind of switched things around. But still, he should be putting up a little bit more than just close to 20 goals and close to 50 points if you're going to be on the top line. But again, it's what you get done in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Again, last 3 years for Lindholm here. You can see here just 4 points in 8 games, 4 points in 12 games. But again, much different story this year around. 10 points through 9 games, very similar to Tkachuk. Also shooting more and a +7 rating as well. So just wanted to quickly dive into those 2 players because those are 2 players that obviously I was very critical of, that I wanted to see step up. And guess who they are, or guess who the top 2 players leading our team technically in terms of points are those exact 2 players in Tkachuk and Lindholm. So that's what you want to see from your top players. Of course, there are other top players who, were getting it done in the regular season were guys like Johnny Gaudreau, Max Domi, and Sean Monahan. They're still up there as well. 10 points for Gaudreau and Domi, and 9 points for Sean Monahan in 9 games as well. Dylan Dubé is having a really good playoff, 7 points there. Michael Backlund has been lights out in the second half of the season and here in the Stanley Cup playoffs as well, 7 points. Patrice Bergeron, who we acquired at the trade deadline, 6 points through 9 games. Not bad, of course, for Patrice Bergeron. Shooting at 7%. He's not much of a shooter, but it is more of his two-way game that we brought him in for, and his experience to win in this type of year, or at this time of year, I should say. 20 minutes average on ice time. I just want to look at his face-off percentage here. In the face-off dot, 56.3. Is that good enough to lead our team? No, it's just behind Elias Lindholm. He's probably taken way more face-offs, so he has face-offs taken, 67 for Lindholm, who's played the majority of the playoffs as a winger, 160 for Patrice Bergeron. So much different story here. Obviously, only Sean Monahan has taken more face-offs, but 56.3, that's pretty good for Patrice Bergeron. But yeah, can't go wrong with Bergeron coming in, bringing his experience at 30. How old was he? 36 years of age to still put up 6 points in 9 games. That's not bad, especially for a guy that was playing most of the playoffs here on the third line or second line. Noah Hannafin there leading our defensive core with 5 points, and then onward Oliver Shillington 4 points, Giordano 3 points there for our captain Valimaki. Mangiapane has had a quiet playoffs, surprisingly. Mangiapane's kind of been the opposite of Tkachuk and Lindholm this season. Really good regular season, the last 3 years, but just not getting it done in the playoffs as much. Definitely want to see Mangiapane shoot a lot more. This guy's a pure sniper. He should be putting in a lot more than just 1 goal. So I just wanted to take a quick look there at our team, about halfway through the Stanley Cup playoffs, you could say, for us. And then look here at Jordan Binnington. 9 games played, 8-0-1 for Jordan Binnington. 8-0-1 because obviously our only loss came in overtime. So really good record for Jordan Binnington so far through the Stanley Cup playoffs. 9.25 in save percentage and 2.19 goals against. So he's getting it done. That's the bottom line. I mean, this guy won a Stanley Cup with the St. Louis Blues a couple of years ago for a reason. for that exact reason. He gets the job done at this time of year. So both Bergeron and Binnington are two guys that we brought in. Binnington in the offseason and Bergeron at the trade deadline to do exactly this for this exact time of year, because we knew, like I said, we had a good enough team constructed to win or to make the playoffs. We just needed those pieces in the Stanley Cup playoffs to help us, get through what is a very, very long Stanley Cup playoff run if you want to win a Stanley Cup. All right. Let's take a quick look here at team stats where we rank. Again, this is now, this is kind of very accurate when you get to, or very inaccurate, I should say, when you get to this point of the Stanley Cup playoffs, because now you have a lot of teams that have been eliminated since the first round or the second round, like the Coyotes, who obviously we eliminated, just played 4 games. But then you got other teams like the Avalanche who have played 13 games and onward here. I think the Avalanche have played, they've played the most, tied with the Toronto Maple Leafs in terms of games played. And that's the team obviously we're facing. So stats a little bit, probably a little inaccurate here, but we'll take a look anyway where we rank in terms of all of these goals for, goals against, and onward. So goals for, obviously we should be somewhere up there because we played 2 rounds. Not bad. We should go goals for per game. That's what we should actually be going for. And that's where we rank. Number 1 in goals for per game. So, through 9 games played, we have 33 goals for, so that's good enough for about 3.67. So we are averaging almost 4 goals a game. Obviously, that's what you want to see in the Stanley Cup playoffs. That is huge that our offense is getting it done. And it's not just our offense, but it's our top players. They're getting it done. This is what you want to see. I mean, we have a chance to go all the way here because we have such a good team, and they're playing to their potential right now. The Colorado Avalanche, they're averaging 3 goals a game. They've got 39 goals for through 13 games. So a little bit down from what we're averaging there, but still they're a high offensive team. They're in the top 5 in terms of goals for per game here in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Excuse me. Goals against here. Let's see, goals against per game. They are number 1, the Colorado. So I thought we just ran into a pretty good defensive team in the Vancouver Canucks. Turns out that the Colorado Avalanche are actually the best defensive team in this year's Stanley Cup playoffs so far, with a 1.85 goals against per game. So they're getting it done. I'm going to take a look. I wonder who their goaltender is. If it is what's his name, Philip Grubauer, if he's still in net, or is he getting the job done for them? We'll have to definitely take a look. We're averaging 2.33 goals against per game. Still not bad. Again, in the top 4, just like the Avalanche were. But obviously the Avalanche, the slightly better team when it comes to goals against. We're the slightly better team when it comes to goals for. Both of us leading the Stanley Cup playoffs in the NHL in those respective categories. Let's take a look here at the power play percentage here for both teams. Avalanche are up there, they're up at 25%, so really good power play for the Colorado Avalanche. Ours has struggled in the Stanley Cup playoffs. You can see we're in the bottom half, just in the bottom half here, with a 12% power play. Just 3 power play goals? I thought we had more than that through 25. I know we didn't get any in the first round, but I thought we got a little bit more in the second round on 25 tries. So yeah, our power play has struggled. We can even look to switch it up again going into the Western Conference Finals because I think we might need it. They have a really good power play here, so we got to be careful of that. Hopefully our penalty kill is better than theirs. Let's take a look here. PK, it is at 92.7%, and they have a PK of 88.1. So we have a much better PK. They have a much better power play. So yeah, it's pretty. You can see already it's pretty even. We're the better team at goals for and the PK. They're the better team at goals against and the power play. So I mean, this is going to be a fun matchup in the Western Conference Finals for sure. So let's jump right into their player stats. I don't know why I went back into team stats here. Let's go back into their player stats and let's see at what their team, what they've got on their team and why they're maybe leading in each category. Definitely interested to see who they have in goal and who they have on the blue line, because I think that's a huge reason why they're getting things done defensively. All right, so let's take a look here at their team. They're led, of course, by Nathan MacKinnon with 18 points there in 13 games. Again, remember, they have played way more games than we have, so that's why they've got guys like MacKinnon with 18 points. But yeah, he's having a lights-out year anyway. 18 points in 13 games, 10 goals in 13 games there. So yeah, we have to watch out. We've got an elite superstar that we are facing in Nathan MacKinnon. Now, we did face one in the first round in Alex Ovechkin, but he just really didn't get running there in the first round to put up the potential that he could have. We faced some good players against Vancouver in Elias Pettersson, Brock Besser, guys like that in Vancouver, but I think this is the first time we're running into an actual elite superstar that we're facing here. A guy like you could compare to a guy like Connor McDavid, a guy that can just literally carry a team, and I think that's what McKinnon's doing. Maybe the front runner for the Conn Smythe out of the Western Conference right now. It is early. We're just beginning the Western Conference Finals, but if the Avalanche make it through, you definitely wonder if this guy is a front runner for the Conn Smythe Trophy. Shall they win the Stanley Cup? Let's hope that's not the case. But 18 points, that's incredible. Plus 10 rating there for Nathan MacKinnon. When you go down, there's their captain, Gabriel Landeskog. 15 points for Landeskog in 13 games. Pretty good as well for Landeskog. Probably playing on a line there with MacKinnon, and probably so too is probably Mikko Rantanen. 12 points in 13 games. So yeah, if this is their top line, like holy fuck, we are in deep trouble if this is their top line. I'm kind of surprised they aren't putting up more goals for per game. If this is their top line, but also this could be the only line getting it done, because when we go after Mikko Rantanen, you see they got Jonas Donskoy, 8 points there. We got Vladislav Kamenev. He's got 8 points there. Tyson Jost has 7 points. Cale Makar leads their defensive core with 7 points through 13 games, plus 10 rating for Cale Makar. How about Samuel Girard? Same thing there, plus 10 rating, 6 points. JT Compher, and then onward. So Bowen Byram, Trevor Lewis, Andrei Burakovsky, Logan O'Connor, Zach Smith, Chris Wagner, as Nikita Zadorov. Just looking here at their team now. Brent Seabrook is playing for the Avalanche. Wow. So obviously Brent Seabrook, not an offensive defenseman, more of a veteran defenseman, but a guy like Patrice Bergeron, who we brought in, he's probably in their bottom six there, working down there. Eric Johnson. Yeah, they actually have a pretty good defensive core when I just look at their names here. Again, I know a lot of these guys are older, but they still got a good defensive core. That's probably why they're getting it done. Excuse me. I want to take a quick look here at who they have in net. It is Brian Elliott. Are you kidding me? Brian frickin' Elliott? The Moose himself at 37 years of age. I didn't even think he was still in the NHL. Honestly, I thought he had retired by now. Wow. Brian Elliott has come back to Colorado, and because he played for the Avalanche, right? He's back in Colorado. 8 wins, 4 losses, 1 overtime loss, 3 shutouts, and a .937 save percentage, 186 goals against. That is incredible. He's got a better save percentage than Jordan Binnington does through 9 games, and a better goals against. That is incredible. Brian Elliott has just, I don't know what has happened. He's just re-emerged as an elite goalie so far in these Stanley Cup playoffs, because he has probably the best save percentage right now in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Jacob Ingram here has just played 1 game. Looks like he maybe just came in relief and faced 5 shots. But Brian Elliott, holy crap. I was expecting it to be Philip Grubauer or somebody else. That's shocking. So the former Flames goaltender, who really did not have a good year he had an okay year in Calgary, but by the time he hit the Stanley Cup playoffs back in, 2017, I believe it was, he really had a horrible year. Was it 2017? Let's take a quick look at his playoff stats here, because I believe it was 2017, the year the Flames were swept by the Anaheim Ducks. If we go to playoff stats here, 2016, 2017. So yeah, this is the year he played for us. Had a good regular season, decent regular season. We can take a quick look at that as well. But his playoffs were just horrible. Let's go down to 2016, 2017. Yeah, so he posted a .909 save percentage through 49 games. Wasn't bad. That's an okay regular season as a starting goalie, but it was more here in the Stanley Cup playoffs where he just really had a horrible playoffs. Went 0-3 in the Stanley Cup playoffs, 800 save goals against, 388 goals against. Excuse me. Didn't have a good year either the following couple of years in Philadelphia, but he has gotten the job done this year in Colorado. He has reemerged here in the Stanley Cup playoffs with the Avalanche. That is incredible. And he's got backup potential, 80 overall. He's only an 80 overall goaltender. This is insane. Backup goalie, he's got fringe starter potential, but he's listed as a backup goalie, and he is on fire. So wow, we are running into a very hot goalie in Brian Elliott, which is definitely going to make this challenging, of course, for the Calgary Flames. So let's definitely take a look here at their lines. We obviously know what they have now in net. Let's see what how they're constructed here and what we're facing here in the Colorado Avalanche. So let's go down here. Let me take a quick drink here quickly. All right, so as expected, that is their top line. That is their number 1 line. Landeskog, McKinnon, Rantanen, look out. Holy crap. 88, 94 Nathan McKinnon, 92 Mikko Rantanen. That is as elite of a top line as you're going to see in the NHL. If we find a way to shut down this line and make it past the Avalanche, we might not face a harder line than this in the Stanley Cup Finals. This might be the worst we see in all of the Stanley Cup playoffs. That's insane. Second line looking like this: Jonas Donskoi 85, 84, Tyson Jost 83, Andrei Burakovsky. Not a bad second line, not a good second line either, but not a bad second line there. They got Kamenev, JT Comper, and AJ Greer there on the third line. 79, 79, and 78. That's a pretty weak third line that looks more like a fourth line to me. Zach Smith, Chris Wagner, Trevor Lewis, 77, 77, and 75 there. So they pretty much got two fourth lines. With all due respect to these players on their third line, they are missing a lot of depth here in their bottom six. We definitely have them beat in the depth category, but they have a very elite top line, an okay second line, but a very poor bottom six. So we have them beat. Even this second line, we have them beat, obviously, significantly. So we have them beat. It's this top line. We've got to find a way to shut down this top line of Landeskog, McKinnon, and Rantanen. Not going to be easy either. Like I said, that might be as elite and as an elite of a top line in the NHL of any line. If you looked at maybe the line in Edmonton, maybe some lines like the ones in Toronto, I think this might be and maybe even Tampa Bay, some of their top lines, I think this might be the best line in hockey currently in the year of 2022. And it's definitely showing here in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Let's take a look at where they're strongest, though, is on the defensive core. Samuel Girard, Cale Makar leading the way, 84-85. That's a pretty decent top pairing. Again, not in a very elite top pairing, but still decent enough to be a top pairing. And two guys that are really young, 23 and 23 years of age for both Girard and Makar. Bowen Byram and Nikita Zadorov, 84, 82. That's a good second pairing. That's a good second pairing to have behind this top pairing. And then, of course, Brent Seabrook, the veteran, bringing in some experience on that third pairing with Eric Johnson. These guys a lot older, obviously, 37, 34 years of age. Just want to look here at what they've got in terms of defensemen. So two-way defender in Johnson, two-way defender in Seabrook. When you get to their second pairing, defensive defenseman in Zadorov, a two-way defender in Bowen Byron. I wonder if this is more of their shutdown pair. And then their top unit, offensive defenseman, of course, in Cale Makar, and offensive defenseman in Samuel Girard. So yeah, they've got a very offensive-minded top pairing, pretty good defensive second pairing here, and then a decent, probably a two-way pairing here in Johnson Seabrook. I like the way their defense is constructed. Again, I think we're just a little bit more stronger in terms of overalls, but they're getting the job done defensively. So you can't compute with that at all. When you come to special teams, just want to take a quick look here. Obviously, it's going to be McKinnon, Rantanen, Landeskog, probably Makar, and they put Donskoi on that unit as well. Girard on the second unit, Jost, Comper, Kamenev, and Bowen Byron. Just want to take a quick look here. Their PK looks like that. And then, of course, in that, it is Brian Elliott. 80 overall. Jacob Ingram is just 66 overall. They would be absolutely hooped if Elliott got injured. Even with Elliott, I mean, on paper, this should not be a good goaltending tandem at all. This shouldn't even be a Stanley Cup playoff worthy goaltending tandem with a guy at 80 overall. Elliott, like I said, Elliott should be your backup goalie, and they should be missing a starting goalie. But right now, he is playing lights out. I mean, I just talked about maybe Nathan McKinnon being this team's MVP and maybe being the Conn Smythe Trophy favorite. I have to wonder if maybe it is Brian Elliott. Again, it will be interesting to see. Like, let's hope that's not the case, that the Avalanche make it, because that means they would eliminate us in the Western Conference Finals. But I mean, it's kind of interesting just to think about, who would be the Conn Smythe Trophy winner? Would it be McKinnon or would it be Brian Elliott? Because he has just played lights out. The fact that he's listed at 80 overall probably shouldn't be doing the things that he's doing, and he is. It's insane. So let's just take a quick look here at our line going into the Western Conference Finals. So again, I can't remember how we finished off that series against Vancouver in the second round. Excuse me. But right now we got Mangiapane on this top unit again. Wouldn't mind getting Mangiapane going a little bit. But right now we'll start game one like this: Monahan, Gaudreau, Mangiapane, Tkachuk, Bergeron, Lindholm. Third line that's so strong of Dubé, Backlund, Domi will start like that, and then Bennett, Kopp, and Versteeg. Again, you can see we have them beat significantly when it comes to depth. Even our top line, if you flip Mangiapane and Domi around, our top line could be just as dangerous on paper as their top line. I know they have their top line's getting it done. Like I said, might be the best line in hockey. But right now, we have a top line on paper that rivals their top line. And then we've got a way better second line, way better third line, and a very similar fourth line, probably even slightly better. We have them definitely beat in depth. There's no doubt about it. Again, I talk about it every time. Down the middle, there can't be a deeper team in the NHL than us, probably in a long, long time. We have them beat on paper again when it comes to their defensive core. Hanifin, Valimaki, Giordano, Anderson. These are probably two top pairings, a very elite top pairing with Hanifin and Valimaki, a good second pairing, a very elite top second pairing as well, I should say, in Giordano, who's still 86 overall, and Rasmus Anderson, and then our third pairing, looks like that, DeMello and Shillington. But yeah, it's going to be tight. I can't believe this. Power play. Let's try switching something up here. What should we do here? Let's try taking Giordano off of here because he hasn't had a very good Stanley Cup playoffs. Hanifin was leading us in points, so we'll put Hanifin up there. I'm just trying to think here. What else can we do? Kachuk. Let's get Lindholm onto this top pairing as well. Let's make a big change here. Let's put Lindholm at center and put Monahan here on the second pairing because for some reason it's just not getting it. You know what? I want to put Monahan on that top pairing at 91 overall. I've got to have him on my top pairing. But we will stick Lindholm at center, and we'll try Domi on the second pairing here with Mangiapane. Just trying to switch things up here, like I said. Really, we don't have as good of a power play as we probably should for the type of talent that we have. So we definitely need to work on improving that. Taking a quick look here at our goaltending tandem, of course, Binghamton and Talbot. I mean, we're way better with them on paper. It's just Brian Elliott is playing like he's like a 90. I bet you he's playing like a 97 or a 95 overall right now, the way he's playing. McKinnon is obviously at 94. He's probably playing like a 95 as well. I mean, it's insane. So I don't know what else to say. It's absolutely insane. So why not jump right in here to the Stanley Cup Playoffs, to Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Like I said, it's been 18 years since the Calgary Flames have been here. So let's just jump right into it. Let me grab a drink here before we start. All right. This is it. So yes, like I said, the Calgary Flames are bringing their 8-1-0 record into the Western Conference Finals against the Avalanche. They're looking to advance to the Stanley Cup Finals. It's been a long time in Calgary. Can we get by the Avalanche? It's not going to be easy, but it starts right now here in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Here we go. Everything on the line. This is a massive series. Like I said, if we get by the Avalanche, this might be a harder series than who we face in the Eastern Conference Finals with all due respect to, of course, the two teams there in the New York Rangers and Florida Panthers. All right, very early start here in Game 1. Two teams trading goals. We get one there from Andrew Mangiapane. They get one from Kamenev. And then they get a second goal from Nathan McKinnon here about halfway through the first period. And then we get one from Patrice Bergeron on the power play. So back-to-back power play goals. Looks like our new look power play looks good here. And then they get another one from Burakovsky. What an insane first period here. Wow. All right, let's take a breath here. So like I said, both teams trading goals early, and then both teams trading power play goals. So our second unit getting it done with Patrice Bergeron. Again, coming in with that experience. That's what we need to see there. They get one from McKinnon. It only took, 10 minutes into the series for McKinnon to get on the board. Burakovsky, though, bearing a huge goal late, which is 4 minutes left to make it 3-2 Colorado Avalanche. So right now this series is projecting to be an absolute shootout, which is not exactly how I thought this series might go, with them being so good defensively and us being pretty decent defensively as well. But it looks like this might be a high-octane offensive series. I like our chances if that's the case. But again, after just one period of play, I mean, they're the better team so far. So we have to see. Still lots of hockey to be played here. Shots 13-12 for them. So let's jump right into the second period. Come on, Calgary. There we go. Noah Hanifin tying it up with less than a minute into the second period. That is huge by Noah Hanifin. This is a tie game. All right, come on, Calgary. Let's hang on here. About halfway through the second period. Come on, Flames. Things have calmed down a little bit. Here's a look at our power play. Can't get anything there. Come on, Flames. yeah, things calming down after a fury in the first period and one early here in the second. And that's how we will end the second period of play. So Noah Hannafin with a huge goal there early in the second ties this game up. Here we go. Third period of play in game one. We have to take this opener. Come on, Calgary. 19-25 the shots for us. 25-19. Here's another look at the power play. Come on, power play. Oh my God, we need that power play. We're already at 30 shots though in the game. Come on, Flames. 3-3 tie. Halfway through the third period. Come on, Calgary. Come on. Oh, come on. 5 minutes to go. We got 36 shots on that. Come on, Calgary. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh no! It's a late power play goal by Nathan MacKinnon. You cannot take a penalty in the last minute of the hockey game because with 54 seconds left in regulation, it's a silencer from Nathan MacKinnon. So I might be flipping back to MacKinnon now as my MVP of this team. That is insane. What a game by Nathan MacKinnon. Wow. On the power play, right? So we cannot give this team. Again, they had one of the best power plays in the NHL in the playoffs. We cannot give them any room to work with, especially late in the game like that. I mean, this game was destined for overtime, and then we give up a late one. Fuck. So close too. This was such a close game. Like, it was back and forth. It was tight, and then we just fuck up in the last minute. Whoever took that penalty, that is a horrible penalty to take at that time of the game. Knowing that they could send that unit on. Oh my God. All right, so. Looks like Johnny Gaudreau had a 3-point night. Noah Hannafin a 2-point night there. Who was in the minuses here? Giordano and Anderson, that pairing struggling just a little bit. Jordan Binnington probably could have had a better night, 8-4-6, but again, a lot of high octane that he was facing there. I just want to see who took that penalty at the end. My God. That is a horrible penalty to take. Let's go penalty here. There we go. It was Andrew Mangiapane. With 2 minutes left, he took a roughing penalty and ended up costing us the game. Mangiapane, that is horrible. All right, not much you can do there. Yeah, that's tough. That is tough. I was going to demote Mangiapane anyway because he didn't get anything done that game, but I'm definitely going to demote him after that penalty that he took. We're going to whip him back down to the third line here. Bump Lindholm up to that top line. Domi back to that second line. Some minor changes here as we head into game number 2. Giordano, Anderson struggling a little bit, but I'm not going to switch things up here. We'll try one more game with this top 4 unit. If we have to switch things around, like maybe flip Valimaki and Anderson around, we can do that as well going into game 3. But let's try this again here for game 2. And we will try the same power play unit because they did get a power play goal there in the first, on Patrice Bergeron's goal. But we will try this lineup here for game 2. So very, very close game 1, like I said. But we can't be satisfied with close games here. We have to be winning these games. So let's jump right in here into game 2. We need to obviously take a split going back to Colorado. We cannot go down 2-0 here to the Colorado Avalanche. So here we go. Game number 2. This is a huge one from the Dome. Come on, Calgary. Not as much scoring in this first period. There's a look at our power play. There's a look at their power play. Another look at our power play. We're not getting the job done on the PP. Come on, Calgary. Come on. Got 11 shots through 20 minutes of play here. 12 shots. All right. So, 2 power plays there. I know one was abbreviated, but we have to find a way to score in that special teams. They don't have as strong as a PK as we do. We have to take advantage, of the special teams here. One of these teams are going to have to be better than the other in special teams because it's such an even split. All right, let's jump right into the second period here. Come on, Calgary. Let's get that goal. Come on. Big PK there. PK's been good. We need our power play to get going here. We need some offense right now, too. Come on, Calgary. Halfway through regulation here. No team has found the back of the net yet. Come on, Flames. Come on. Oh, my God. All right, nothing through 40 shots, 21-20. It's been very even. This has been much more of probably a shutdown defensive game than that wild first game. This is probably what I was expecting a little bit more of too. Despite both teams having high octane offensive players, both teams are built to be defensive first. Especially them. But we're definitely capable of doing that too. And right now, that's what it's showing here in game 2. It's definitely drastically different than game number 1. But we need to find a way to come out of this game with the win. So I don't care what it takes. Calgary, you need to find a way to win this. Come on, here we go. We can't go down 0-2 back to Colorado. Come on, Calgary. Come on, we need this one. Yes, Max Domi. Huge goal by Domi. And a second one. A big one on the power play from Matthew Tkachuk. There we go. Come on, Flames. Hang on to this 2-0 lead now. Come on. Yes! There we go, Andrew Mangiapane. That makes up for that penalty in game number 1. 5-on-3 for the Avalanche. We kill it off. Sean Monahan adding a goal. That is huge. Oh, my God. 2 power play goals, by the way, in this frame by Tkachuk and Mangiapane. And this one will run out. The Calgary Flames beat the Avalanche 4-0. It is a 4-goal third period. Goals from Domi, Tkachuk, Mangiapane, and Monahan. 2 of them on the power play. That is what you want to see. I don't know why we were waiting to the third period to do this, but definitely happy to see the end score being 4-0. Big night for Sean Monahan, 2 points. Big night for Elias Lindholm back on that top unit. As well, Mangiapane, like I said, huge goal by Mangiapane after that penalty in game number 1. And I look at there at our ice time leaders. But yeah, that's what you want to see. Obviously, our team getting it done there. Look at goaltending as Jordan Binnington makes a 30-save shutout performance, much better than game number 1 for him as well, as he shuts the door facing 30 shots. That's not easy for Binnington to do, but a very big night there for the Calgary Flames to take that 1-1 split back to Colorado. So that's what you want to see. All right, let's keep it rolling. Let's jump right in here into game number 3. We've got that 1-1 split. We'll keep the lineups the same. Like I said, 2 power play goals in that game. Our power play is slowly getting better. That's what you want to see. All right, here we go. Game number 3 from the Pepsi Center in Colorado. We have to find a way to get the lead in this series now. Oh, my God, and we let them get on the board. Kamarev with his second of the game. Beating Binnington, and then Mikko Rantanen with a power play goal, and then Tyson Jost. This is exactly opposite of what we saw in game 4, or in game 2, I should say. JT Compher. It is 4-0 Avalanche after 20. What the hell just happened? All right, so they are flipping the scripts on us after that third period in game 2. Like what? They get a power play goal here from Rantanen, and then 3 even strength goals. 14-6 of the shots. Did we just not come out ready for this game? Looks like we just decided not to show up for game number 3. What the hell, Calgary? What a hole to be in here in game 3. All right, all we can do is just keep simming here and hope something turns around. But that is a horrible period. You can't have a period like that this deep in the Stanley Cup playoffs. You cannot have a period that bad. And I know the Avalanche just had one in game 2, but we can't have that this early on. And there's another goal by the Avalanche. Andrei Burakovsky, and they are just opening up the floodgates at this point. Samuel Girard. Oh my God. This does not look like the team that got us here. They've already got 30 shots on net through 40 minutes. Like, they have just come out in beast mode. I'm surprised McKinnon's not on the fucking scoreboard. Jesus Christ. There's Rantanen in second. Kamarev second. All right, so this is probably unrealistic of an 8-0 score, but let's just obviously the Avalanche have won this game, so let's just finish this off. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you for showing up. All right, so let's just forget about that score. Obviously, I'm not even going to go into our stats because I probably would just completely smash my controller if I saw the plus minuses in that one, because I'm guaranteeing you there's probably a couple players that should probably be benched after that one, but we're just going to ignore it. We're going to ignore the score in that one. We'll just face that, or mark that as a loss. So we've lost 2-1-1. I don't know if that would happen in real life, in the 8-1 losing in the Western Conference Finals. The 2 best teams of the West. I don't know if one team would be able to beat. I don't know. It's just, to be honest, I don't know what to say. That is, let's just forget that game. We're down 2-1. We've got to find a way to tie this series back up going into game 3. Obviously, or going into game 5, I should say. Obviously, we can't go down 3-1 against a team like Colorado. They're too dangerous. This is a must-win. This is as must of a win, or as big of a must-win as you will see in the Stanley Cup playoffs right now for the Calgary Flames. It is game 4, the most important game of any series, and it is a must-win for the Calgary Flames. So, Rice in the same lineup here. We've got to find a way to respond here. Come on, Calgary. Come on. This is a must-win if you are the Calgary Flames. Oh, my God. We have to take a 2-2 tie back to game 5. There we go. Mark Giordano, the captain. What a goal there by Giordano. Late 33 seconds left there in the opening frame, and the Flames make it 1-0. We got to keep it going here, though. There we go. Sean Monahan, his second of the series. 2-0 Flames, and then they score. Trevor Lewis, the former King. All right, crap. Come on, Calgary. Hang on here. Hang on. Power play goal. Matthew Tkachuk. Yes, the power play getting it done again. I believe that's Tkachuk's second or third of the series. That's huge. Come on, Calgary. Hang on to this 3-1 lead. Come on, Flames. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is so nerve-wracking. All right, one more period to play here in game number 4. We got a 2-goal lead. We can't blow this now. We cannot blow this. Come on, Calgary. There's a huge goal. Patrice Bergeron with an insurance goal on the power play as well. Our power play has been much, much better in this series. That's obviously what you like to see. All right, here we go. 3-goal lead. 6 minutes to go. Come on, Flames. Yes, Andrew Mangiapane. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. 5-1 Flames. And that's the way it'll end. So a much, much better response. Again, that's why I try not to look at the stats after the last game and panic too much, because basically you needed to throw. And in real life, if I was the coach of the Calgary Flames, I'd be throwing the exact same lineup in this game and saying, you know what, you guys just lost 8-1 or whatever it was. Show me what you can do here in game number 4, and definitely ice the same lineup. And they showed us. They responded very well. Our team did. Our top players again leading the way. 2-point night there for Mangiapane, Lindholm, Monahan, Giordano. But our top players coming through, our experienced players like Giordano and Bergeron coming through, and Binnington a much better night. I assume Talbot played some of the last game as well. Binnington was probably pulled. Talbot probably split that game with him. We definitely obviously go right back to Jordan Binnington in this one. And he puts up a .958 save percentage in Game 4. So, again, don't know what the hell happened in Game 3, but we found a way to respond nicely here in Game 4. And again, this series is tied 2-2. So it now becomes a best-of-3 series. The next two teams to win, the next team to win 2 games will advance to the Stanley Cup Finals and be Western Conference champions. Let's hope it's us. Please be us. All right, so we can't afford to keep playing this back-and-forth game with the Avalanche, where they win one, we win one. We've won one now. We've got to start winning consecutive games here against this team. They're too good of a team to start giving life to. Obviously, the winner of this Game 5 will have a stranglehold on the series with a 3-2 series lead. We got to hope that's us here. So let's just jump right in here to game number 5. Don't want to exit. There we go. Game number 5. This is a big one, obviously, for the Calgary Flames. This is a big one. All right, here we go. Game 5. Like I said, we have to stop that trend, and that's not a good way to start it. Samuel Girard making it 1-0. Come on, Flames. Come on. Fuck's sakes. All right, come on, Calgary. Come on. Here we go. Power play. There we go. Elias Lindholm. That is huge. That is huge, Elias Lindholm. Another power play goal for the Flames. It's looking much better. All right, shots are 6-6. Come on, Calgary. Fuck! Cale Makar in his hometown. And then Mangiapane responds. I think that's 3 straight games for Andrew Mangiapane since taking that penalty in Game 1. We are still not out of this. Down by just 1 goal. Shots 8 piece. Very even there after 20 minutes of play. Come on, Calgary. Please, Calgary. We need this one. Come on. We can't go. Oh, my God. This is going to be such a close series. Come on, Flames. Come on, power play. Power play. Yes, Max Toby. Another power play goal. Our power play has been lights out in this series. That is huge. I don't know what changes we made, but it is working on the PP. Come on, Flames. This game is tied at 3. Come on, Calgary. We got to find a way to break through. All right, so 20 minutes left. The team that wins this next 20 minutes will be 1 win away from the Stanley Cup Finals. Come on, Calgary. That's got to be us. Come on, Flames. All right, here we go. Huge, huge third period, as big as you'll ever see. Come on, PK, fuck. We killed it off, but then they scored. Fuck's sakes. Come on, Flames, tie this one up. Come on, power play, tie this game up. 5-on-3, 5-on-4, yes! Andrew Kopp, all right, from the 4th line. Come on, Flames, get that goal now, come on. Oh my God, power play, late power play, come on. Oh, I thought we were going to get a late one, all right. Okay, so Kamarev and then Kopp scoring in this third period to send this one to overtime. This is definitely as nerve-wracking as it'll get. 36-29 shots for us. Who's going to come through in overtime? Oh my God, who's going to play hero? This feels like a Game 7, even though it's a Game 5. It feels like a Game 7. My God, all right, here we go. Overtime for the win. Come on, Calgary. Come on. We need this one. Come on, Flames. We need this one. No. No! As soon as I saw they got the power play, I was like, fuck, we're fucked. Bowen Byron. I just... As close as these games have been, it doesn't matter how close they are, because if you don't win... I mean, now we're down 3-2 in the series. We are facing elimination. For I believe obviously for the first time in the Stanley Cup Playoffs, the Calgary Flames are facing elimination. Holy fuck! Wow. -3 for Patrice Bergeron. What happened there? To our second line. Holy fuck. Dylan DeMello, Hannafin. All right. Yikes! 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 8-5-3 for Binghamton. Not a super good night there for Jordan Binghamton. I mean, bottom line now is we need to reel off 2 straight games in a row. Like I said, this series has been back and forth. It's been Colorado, us, and now Colorado here in Game 5. You know, we've got to find a way to just basically reel off the next 2. That's all it is. It's 2 games. We've won 2 games in a row many times this season. And in the playoffs, we obviously have to find a way to do it here in games 6 and 7 if we want to be playing in the Stanley Cup Finals. The second line really struggled there in that last game, but I'm going to leave them intact. Mangiapane's been better. No, I'm just going to bring him up, but right now I'm just going to roll with what we've got here. I might throw out Dylan DeMello and bring in Carl Gunnarsson. Minor change here in the third pairing, not going to make a difference, but we'll try that. Power play has been so good, so you can't complain there. I don't know what else to say or do. Again, it's up to our players to respond from that game. Again, not an 8-1 loss by any means like the third game, but still we need a big response here in this game here from the Calgary Flames. So here we go. With our backs against the ropes, this is it. The Calgary Flames are officially facing elimination in the Stanley Cup Playoffs. We need 2 straight wins, but we need to just worry about winning 1 game at a time right now, and it starts with Game 6. We have to find a way to send this, force a 7th game. This is it. The Avalanche are so close. They can push us out here, but we need to push back. Come on, Calgary. Here we go. Game 6, facing elimination. This is an obvious must-win. Here we go. We start on the power play. Our power play that's been so good for us, and we don't get anything in the opening minutes on the power play. Come on, Flames. Come on. Ooh, they got a power play here. Come on, PK. Ooh. All right. Halfway through the first 20 minutes, I should say. Second power play, we don't get anything, and then they respond after that big PK with a goal by Andrew Burakovsky. 1-0 Colorado here in Game 6. Holy shit. Come on, Calgary. Huge response here. Come on, Calgary. Here we go. Here we go. Period number 2. Come on, Flames. Come on. We need something here. Come on, Calgary. Come on. Where's our offense? We need this game. Come on. Crap. Nathan MacKinnon has scored. It is 2-0 Avalanche, and they are 20 minutes away from becoming Western Conference champions and eliminating us. Holy shit. Alright. This is it. This could be our final period of the season. We need to find a way to respond here. Over 30 shots on goal. We've got nothing. We absolutely have nothing. Oh my god. Calgary, 2 goals quick. No, that's not going to happen. Wow. And it is a empty netter, likely. Or no, it's just a regular goal by Gabriel Landeskog, the captain. And the Colorado Avalanche have officially eliminated us in 6 games. And our season has come to an end. Wow. Wow. You know, obviously a lot to like in this year's playoffs, but I can't, like the way it ended. That one's going to sting, of course. First time in 18 years that we make it to the Western Conference Finals. We're that close, and then we get eliminated in 6 here. And it looks like the Rangers are going through as well in the East. So it'll be New York and Colorado for the Stanley Cup. And, hats off to the Avalanche. That's a hell of a series. They definitely were the better team. through 6 games. It was close. Everything other than that third game was actually pretty close. I know we had a 5-1 win in there as well, but that was a pretty close series. Again, when we looked at it at the beginning, it was very even in terms of special teams, goals for, goals against. They just found a way to shut us down. Like in this last game, they shut us down. Their defense, their goaltending, Brian Elliott, shut us down. Other games, they put up high-octane offense, so they have the ability to do both. They are a dangerous team. I don't know what the Rangers are like, but I could see the Avalanche easily winning the Stanley Cup with the team that they just iced against us. They are very dangerous in every category. Their power play was very consistent. They got the job done on the PK, maybe not as strong on the PK, but got it done. They're just a dangerous team all around, led by a very, very elite franchise player, Nathan MacKinnon, and one of the hottest goalies probably in the history of the Stanley Cup playoffs right now in Brian Elliott. So hats off to the Avalanche. That will end our season, unfortunately, for the Calgary Flames. We do make it to the Western Conference Finals, but again, we fall short of winning a Stanley Cup for our 3rd straight year at the helm of GM of the Calgary Flames. It's a very big off season ahead. This episode is probably running really long, so I'm going to cut it off right now, but it is a massive off season ahead because we have a lot of contracts to figure out, and this I keep saying it, this was kind of that final year of that window for us. We're going to lose, guys like Giordano. Johnny Gaudreau has got his contract up now. We have to try and find a way to re-sign him. But it is definitely a window year for the Flames that has come to a close. We now get the opportunity to open a new window. A window hopefully that will lead us to a Stanley Cup in the very near future because we want to take advantage of the elite core that we still have. But it'll be interesting going into this offseason and into next year. So let's end this episode here. Episode number 25, unfortunately, does not end the way we want it to, but we will obviously move on and come back strong next year and try to win the Stanley Cup. But hats off to the Avalanche. What a hell of a series there. But we'll see if we can pick things up there in the offseason here in the next episode 26.